I'm Diane Girusso from DianeStamps.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to show you a little bit about the paper piercing pack and all the tools that you need to make very cool paper pierced cards. The paper piercing pack and the paper piercing tool and the paper piercing mat can all be found on page 181 in the annual catalog. So I'm going to show you what these all come separately. I'm going to show you what you get. Pretty cool stamping mat. It's a piercing mat. You can see it's fairly thin. It's foam, and you end up, you put your paper down and you pierce through it. We have this paper piercing tool, which is basically a very sharp, pointy stick. You might have always told you not to run with sticks. Well, don't run with this. It's very pointy, and it fits through the little piercing template really well. And you'll notice I put a little bling on mine because I don't like my things to roll around on my table too much. And that just gives it enough stoppage to not roll around. So I'm going to set that aside and show you the paper piercing pack essentials that you can get. There's 3 of them, and I'll start with the bottom one. I just happen to be able to, let me move this so you can see. I'm not sure what you can see and what you can't right now. So basically this one has our edgelets. What this one has particularly, which is really helpful to me, is straight lines, rows and rows of dots. Piercing dots, and there are some measurements along the side, and I'll tell you honestly, I don't use those to measure that much, but what I do use them for is to keep, I usually line up the line with my paper. I use it to keep my dots, my piercing, straight. That works out really well for that. You can also use it as a straight edge. It's pretty cool if you need one in a pinch. The second one that's here has a bunch of punched images, including the decorative label punch right here, and the curly label tag, the heart, scalloped oval, and then you might see, I hope you can see, this series of circles. So the third one that comes with this set goes with the Apothecary Accents framelits. Oops, I have it upside down. You can't see the Stampin' Up! And you see these lines. These are the lines that you align along the edge of your cut piece or around your stamped piece, and that ensures that you have a very straight pierced piece. So the ones that I'm going to use today, that I'm going to show you today, come from the holiday catalog, and this is the festive paper piercing pack, and this one comes with the holiday ornaments, the new Windows framelits that are also on sale in the holiday catalog, and you can find this paper piercing pack on page 30 in the holiday catalog. And if you don't have a holiday catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know and I'll get one to you. So this one is, again, nested dies. And the third one, and the one we're going to use today, is the labels framelits. And again, you can see that they're concentric and they match all the sizes of the labels framelits. So you can work inside or outside. We're going to be going outside of our pattern this today. And pull my piece over. I'm actually going to get us a little bit closer too so you can see what I'm doing. Now I wanted to add several layers of piercing for this card that I'm making because I thought it would be interesting and I wanted to see what it would look like. So I already pre-pierced a lot of this card because I didn't want you to have to sit there and watch me pierce. But you can see that I just did concentric layers of piercing. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how you use the piercing template with your cut piece. So that's adhered. And now I'm going to take my piercing template and I'm going to match up the dark edge with the edge of my cut piece. See, here I am a little off right here. I'm going to match that up everywhere. Okay, and then I'm just going to hold it. And you might not be able to see, but inside is the other piece, and then you can see the lines for all the other sizes. what I'm going to do is just pierce the outside, just outside the edge of this template. So let me start doing that. I'm going to pull you out a little bit, and I'll try to go fairly quickly so you don't have to be bored. I think it's probably boring to watch people do this, but I actually like doing it. It doesn't bother me. I think it's kind of meditative and Zen-like, so I like to do it. Now, there's all kinds of things you can do with this. I have actually, long before I even knew Stampin' Up! Had piercing templates, and these are new to the company. Before, they'd had some basic shapes and lines. I used to pierce my paper, and I would sew with it. I would use baker's twine or thread or yarn, depending on what I was looking, the effect I was looking for. So you can sew. I used to faux sew, where I would make a piercing and then I would use a pen and connect the dots. I used to love connect the dots in in the coloring books. That was one of my favorite things to do. So, so there's all kinds of things you can do, and you can see I zipped right through that. I lift my piece off, and you can see I have my piercing around my sentiment. And I'm going to complete making the card for you, just so you can see what was done. Now, I'm going to take this off. Actually, I'm going to try to take it off without ripping too much, because I actually want to, ta-da, I want to add dimensionals for this and pop it up a little bit. So I'm going to add some dimensionals, just a couple. Don't need that many to the back. And the reason I didn't pop this up earlier is because I didn't want to have to smush my template over the image, over the popped up image. So I'm just going to replace it, get it centered in there, looking nice, and there we go. Now I'm going to add a ribbon, and the way to do that is to just make a little tiny cut or nick into the fold of your card. You can see, if you open it up, you can see there's a little slit, little hole. You're not going to see that once your ribbon is in, but it's a really helpful way, and you don't have to worry about, anything really, so except trying to catch the piece on the other side, which I have some trouble with. I have shaky hands, so perfect. Yay. Maybe showing you how to do it makes it easier for me. I don't know. I'm going to tie a bow because I believe I have enough ribbon. If I didn't have enough ribbon, I'm sort of not, I don't worry about stuff. I would just make a knot. But I'm pretty sure that I have enough to make a little bow. So I'm going to make a bow with this. And I feel like my hands are gigantic when I try to make bows. Maybe they are. That's why it feels like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim the edges, because the ends of the ribbon, because I'm going to fuss with this just a little bit more. There we go, because I like them cut at an angle. I think that looks pretty. Whoops, look at me just throwing stuff. Okay, so there's my ribbon, and now I'm going to add my UR, so my daughter knows I think she's all those wonderful things. And what I'm going to do is just use a dimensional again to pop it up and place it up. Yep, I got that off. Place it up on the side here near my ribbon. So now my card is complete. Let me with me. Okay, so here's the completed card. I've done a lot of paper piercing. You too can do a lot of paper piercing. I did it just a little bit here on this one and a little bit on this one. So I'm going to put these out so you can see them. If you have any questions or you need any more information, please feel free to give me shoot me an email or contact me on my website, which is dianestamps.com. And I hope to see you next time. In the meantime, have a great, great week, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.